What's good, Jets Nation? You know it's your boy Jersey Boy, and we're back at it again. So just jumping right into it, we do suffer another L. So it seems like our glorified season might be coming back down to earth. With that said, though, it was a pretty poor game, poor showing for both of the offenses of the New York Jets and the Washington Redskins here, which they'll probably be changing that title. So I wonder what we might be referring to this team as in the future. Let me know whatever your thoughts might be for a new team name for the Washington Redskins. I haven't seen anything necessarily. I know they had a few articles on like ESPN and Bleacher Report before, but anyhow, getting back into it, let's check out the performances. So, less than 200 yards for both quarterbacks, two picks apiece, and then we are able to get three sacks on Alex Smith here in the running game. Again, barely being able to crack 4 yards average carry. Bryce Love gets a little wiggle though, so the rookie is able to get into the end zone and put up 26 yards on 5 carries. Peterson struggled quite a bit, and then we were able to get some fumbles on him as well. And then no impact plays from really any of the backups here. So I will be putting an emphasis on the remainder of the season with making sure we spread some of these additional carries out to the rest of our running backs. Don't really want to wear Bell into the ground, as well as maybe if we, do a little bit more changing up, we'll have an effective run game, at least to finish out. So Josh Doxson almost grabs double-digit receptions, so he goes for 80 yards on nine. 47 from Bell, which if he's leading the yardage department for us, that tells you how bad the game was. Crowder gets one big play, Herndon non-effective, Rogers non-effective. Not much of a great showing from anyone else. So on the defensive side, our top three for our game here: CJ Mosley, Leonard Williams, and Jamal Adams there. Getting into the backfield: CJ Mosley, Jamal Adams, Quinnen Williams still doing his thing as a rookie for us this season, which is great to see. Leonard Williams, Jenkins, and Shepard. So everyone essentially from our front seven is able to get in there. And then to pick off, we get Avery Williamson and Nickerson with the two interceptions here. So there are very few impact plays here. Jamal Adams picking up another two on the season. And then we get a defensive touchdown from CJ Mosley there, most likely on this fumble recovery. So nice to see we had some kind of impact on the game. But we're going to be relying on a lot of our defensive players. So we do have a few upgrades. I believe for Sam Darnold, this is only his second on the season, including the preseason. So we'll continue to go ahead and just develop his field general skill set here, most likely. We'll take a look at maybe doing improviser once we can get a little bit better after the off season. So +2 mid accuracy and another point in awareness. Would have loved to see a little bit better short accuracy come up a bit. Maybe we could have got some under the pressure. I'd love to see his throwing power go up as well just a bit. But we'll take what we can take. We got awareness. Am I missing it? Or okay, 79 for him. So progression wise, he has not been able to really rack up the experience over the course of the season. We've been a bottom, that's a ranked 32nd team offense. So I wouldn't expect for us to have a lot of players developing there. On the defensive side, however, we're making it rain with development. +1 power rush there, +2 tackle for him. So he's getting there. I would have loved to see his power move a lot higher than what it is, but if you consider what his stats look like, he should not be putting up the numbers on the season that he's putting up. So far, just to take a look again real quick, for him on the season, he has 9 sacks, 36 tackles overall. And I believe he had a few forced fumbles and no defensive touchdowns, but he's doing very, very well for us, outperforming what he did last season, as has been the trend for him. Get a couple points to Nick O'Leary here. And I wished other players developed in the same manner that the tight ends do, because, man, they get a crazy boost of points. One of the harder positions to adjust to in the NFL, but Still, it'd be nice to see that spread out a little bit evenly among the rest of our players. So we have, over the course of this season, outperformed expectations greatly. So I think that comes down to the legacy and the leadership skills of Curtis Martin, kind of pulling the best out of all of these players he can. This is exactly the kind of coach we needed. Someone that can get them to outperform where they're at, coach them up, and really get them to go out there and put it all out on the field. So let's go ahead and check out a little bit more scouting for us. This time we are going to take a look at the secondary. And as normal for us, I'm pretty much running through our top three rounds of where these players will be expected to go. And for what we're looking at, Nick Davison seems like the best of the group. Maybe another potential one here in Leonard Hadley. We can see a press coverage cornerback here, and Bryson Westerman. And then a severe fall off. But Courtney Ingram looks like he could be maybe a hidden gem. 6'2", 183. Press skill being his best trait. Something to look forward to for us. And let's check out this Raiders matchup and what we can expect to face in Week 12 while we try to keep our record above 500. And Derek Carr still leading the way for them. Mike Glennon backing up the duo of Isaiah Crowell and Doug Martin there. On the receiving core, Antonio Brown racking them up. I'm sure probably putting up big numbers in that offense. Tyrell Williams following him on the other side of the boundary. And then Ryan Grant, J.J. Nelson, Hunter Renfro there. So pretty good receiving core. Rhett Ellison, Luke Wilson. The line, young Colton Miller to the left, Richie Incognito, Hudson in the middle, Gabe Jackson. So pretty serviceable line. Not any overwhelming weaknesses. Clelin Farrell, the rookie Benson Mayowa, who's probably outperformed expectations as well. He's put up some pretty good numbers. And then they have a young Arden Key kind of in the back ranks there. Jonathan Hankins, PJ Hall. So what I can see here, which is good, is a lack of depth. So if one of them are to go down in the game, or if they just get wore out too much, we might be able to take advantage of the run game for once. Same thing with the second level of their defense, it looks like. So Tahir Whitehead, Brandon Marshall, and Nicholas Morrow, they have a pretty terrible linebacking core here. And then Garyon Conley, Nevin Lawson, Daryl Worley. Nothing notable standing out from this group. Garyon Conley could definitely develop into something pretty good still. Lamarcus Joyner in the back, and then Carlos Joseph. So somebody who can lay the hammer out. I know the same is said about Jonathan Abram there. So we'll see what happens. With that said, though, I'm starting to temper expectations. I think we might have peaked for this season already with what this team that we currently have is capable of doing. So after this game, we are going to take a look at actually starting to formulate our board based on what we know about the first three rounds, kind of get that in order, and then we'll readjust as we need to. We'll readjust as we need to, as we get the combine results. I was looking to take a look at, you know what? I'll just do it off camera. But I was looking to go ahead and adjust some of my sliders for substitutions so that we can go ahead and get Le'Veon Bell a little bit better of a rest. Taking a look at the rest of our core here in the running game, we don't really have anybody else that it'd be worth trying to bump up a bit and seeing what we have in them. We have some slightly younger players in Corey Grant and Ty Montgomery. But with that said, we don't have a young player in the wings really here. So that's perfectly fine. We'll manage what we can, and then we'll really build around what we expect Sam Darnold can be able to do. So just taking a look at his stats again. He is mainly a person that we're going to have to focus on his short accuracy ability and his medium accuracy. Throwing power 88, serviceable, but it's nothing that's going to be overwhelming to any defense in the league necessarily. He can do a little bit of throw on a run, so we can have him break pocket, kind of improvise as needed. Um, but other than that, we'll need to make sure we can match up the talent. So bringing in some receivers who can maximize his skill set for now, and then develop some as he continues to progress. But with that said, guys, I'd love it for you to like, comment, subscribe, leave any feedback that you have. Again, I'd be definitely interested to hear any new names you might have for the Washington Redskins for however much longer that lasts. But other than that, it's your boy Jersey Boy, and I'm out. Peace.